Hi my beautiful lovies, welcome back to my channel, Just Missy. This starts my deep spring cleaning series. I'm going to be touching things like my refrigerator, my oven, cabinets, closets, things that I don't normally clean on an everyday basis. Spring is right around the corner and it's time to get my home buttoned up and cute for spring. I'm so excited about spring and I'm very excited about spring cleaning. So I have many things to tackle, things you put off all winter and use spring cleaning as an excuse to do them. So it's time to quit putting them off and let's face them head on and get them tackled and done. So there will be a couple videos in this series. You might see this intro a couple times, but I'm really excited about it and I'm really excited to bring organization and some cute little tips and tricks that I picked up off of Pinterest to add in with my spring cleaning. I might even add a little extra decorating, who knows, but we're gonna have a lot of fun in this series. So get ready to tackle something in my mobile home with me today. Spring is on its way. So when I tell you my refrigerator is disgusting, it is not an understatement. I don't think I've cleaned out my refrigerator like I'm going to do today in over a year. And that's a little embarrassing to say. But as I remove all the food, the true horror of what this refrigerator looks like, just this little bit, you're like, ew. No, wait till I remove all the food. And then you're going to realize why this was a huge deal. It took me almost 3 hours to clean this refrigerator, no lie. Because I had to let stuff soak because the food was stuck on so bad. It's just gnarly. It was just gross, and it definitely was one of those deep spring cleaning things that needed to be touched. And now that it is finished, when you see the end result, it is so satisfying. It is so wonderful. I'm glad I took the time to do it. And when you see the before and the afters, it's just like, yes, ma'am, this was satisfying. This is satisfying deep spring cleaning. So the first thing you have to do is you have to remove all the food. So because you just saw, my refrigerator was pretty packed. I was going to go shelf by shelf, but as I started to take things out of my refrigerator and I started to see like the true, like, wow, how dirty this was, and I started checking all the expiration dates of all the food and things, and I realized how much food I had in there and the way back that was expired and stuff. I was like, no, I think I'm not going to be able to do this shelf by shelf. I think I'm really actually going to have to be able to take the whole thing out because I'm going to have to dismantle the refrigerator in order to get it clean the way that it needs to be cleaned.
Better say something that would change my mind. Gotta give me something, 'cause I'm not blind. And I don't know how to enjoy it. Every time you tell me it's not there, I suppose that we won't stand a chance. We won't stand a chance. Something that will blow my mind. If I have learned one thing, it's wasting time. I don't know how to enjoy it. Every time you tell me it's not there, I suppose that we won't stand a chance.
embarrassed to tell you that I found things in here from like 2019, guys. It was bad. No joke. And as you can see, yeah, it's just nasty. I just could not believe a refrigerator could get this gross, but it really can. I mean, it is really gross, and I really want you to get a really good picture of what it looked like before I really start cleaning this refrigerator, because the before and afters are amazing, in my personal opinion. And to me, seeing something like this, which, oddly enough, I found more hair in my refrigerator. How the heck does hair get in the refrigerator? I don't know. But anyways, look at my kitchen. So now that I have all the food out and it's all on the counters and all over my floor, now it's time to start really deep cleaning the refrigerator. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray everything down with my spick and span just to loosen up the grime. And then I'm going to close the door and let that sit for a few minutes. And then I'm going to go to my sink and I'm going to fill my sink up with a solution, because then I'm going to start dismantling the refrigerator and taking it piece by piece to the sink to clean. But I really want to loosen some of that stuff up, because I mean to tell you, some of that stuff, just pulling some of the items off of the shelves, I couldn't even get off. Like, I had to get a butter knife to like get a bottle off the shelf, because that's how stuck on it was. So that's why I used spick and span before I took any of those shelves to the sink. So I'm going to use my favorite Fabuloso antibacterial in the lemon citrus scent. And let me tell you, this stuff works fantastic. And it's antibacterial, so I'm hoping I'm killing all the cookies and the germs as I'm cleaning everything. So let's start scrubbing this monster of a refrigerator down, because man, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Up at the stars. I'm caught inside a loop where I can get to your heart, get to your heart. Ooh, you're letting your fears take hold, let them take control, and it's making me crazy. If you could only look at me, you know how I feel, know how I feel. Oh, see how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. That's how much I want it. That's how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Think twice before you let me go. My eyes are mirrors of my soul. See how much I want it. See how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes.
So now that we got the drawers spick and span and beautiful and clean, let's tackle this mess. So this is where the drawers slide in. OMG. Now, guys, I don't know if it's because of the lighting in the refrigerator or whatever, but the camera goes from different colors. So please just ignore the bright white and then it goes to this like weird yellow. I think it's just the colors in my hands moving and things like that. But I have to tell you, where the tracks are in my refrigerator, I didn't have a screwdriver. I didn't have anything with me to like unscrew them. That would have made this job a lot easier. But this is where I kind of got hung up. So this is another time I'm going to have to go back in. And I sprayed all in between those tracks and everything like that after I got it really clean with more spick and span. Had to leave it sit. And then what I needed to do is I got another really smaller washcloth and a butter knife, and I pushed the washcloth up underneath. See how there's a little gap? I had to push it all up in there and down in between and all of that stuff. And then I start dismantling the refrigerator. I start taking all the shelves and stuff off. So even though I don't show you the parts where like I used the butter knife and things of that nature. Just trust me when I tell you, I was on my hands and my knees with a butter knife and a washcloth, digging into all the little teeny tiny crevices of the bottom of this refrigerator. That's why it took me so long. The shelves and stuff, because I sprayed them with spick and span, once I took them to the sink to use the Fabuloso on, they would wash off pretty quickly. But this little section of the refrigerator was a beast. If I would have had a screwdriver and been able to take all that hardware off, it might have went quicker. So just a side note, if you're going to like deep clean your fridge, have a screwdriver handy. Okay, so about 25-30 minutes of scrubbing with my handy dandy butter knife. She's not looking that bad. So now we need to start working on those shelves.
Wishing for the kind of love you see in magazines. The illusion falls and nothing's what it seems to be. And the part left is hurting deep inside of me. Heard a whisper, someone saw you at the bar. Was it the same night you had trouble with your car? It's getting old, I've heard your stories told 1,000 times. Baby, you are using the same old lines. I'll leave it all behind. I wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking you off my mind. Walking down the street, the rain is pouring down. By my feet I walk into a different sound. I'll leave the bitter taste of love, come back, I'm finally free. The mirror I can see a different me. I'll leave it all behind. I wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking you off my mind. Love is gone, and there's no road leading us back home. This ain't the first time.
Alright, I got all 3 shelves washed, cleaned, dried off, and put back in their perspective places. And now that that's looking all spicky and white and spiffy and just lovely, now look at this. My doors are awful. My doors, the goop on my doors was awful because that's where all your condiments go. So it's time to start cleaning those off. And as I was in there, I was like, oh, look, this is awesome. They have little latches. I can pop these little boogers off and clean it. So make sure when you're cleaning out your refrigerator, you look for the little, like, well, every refrigerator is different. So maybe yours pops off in a different way, or maybe you have to use a screwdriver, which I pray you don't. But if you can get your little bars off, man, that makes cleaning your door so much easier. So my suggestion is before you go in to clean your refrigerator to see if you can pop those little things off. Most refrigerators are convenient like that, some aren't. And what I did for this is I used a spick and span, of course, and then what I would do is I just kept taking my towel and putting it in my Fabuloso and washing over it. So I used the spick and span to loosen everything up just like I did on my shelves, and then I used the Fabuloso to actually clean it, and it worked great. Look, it's coming off, it's coming clean. Yay! I will have a clean refrigerator before this is over. This is so satisfying, guys. Look at that. All the barbecue sauce, ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard, salad dressing, oh, it all came off. I'm telling you, it works great. That spick and span really helps loosen everything up, and then the Fabuloso just makes it clean, it sparkles, it smells amazing, and on top of it, because it's antibacterial, I know it's really clean. So I am so pleased. Let me just put in a little before. After just seeing that, like, we went from that to this, guys. I mean, thank God for antibacterial Fabuloso and spick and span. I give praise. So tell me that was not an amazing, satisfying transformation from disgusting to white and shiny. Now it's time to put the drawers back in and start putting the refrigerator back together. So I saw a little cute little tip, trick, whatever you want to call it, off of Pinterest when I was looking at organization tips. Pinterest is a fantastic place to go to look for those kinds of things. And I saw a whole board of people putting placemats in their refrigerator so that when spills and sticky things come and want to like totally destroy what you just did, it's such an easy cleanup because all you have to do is take the placemat out of the refrigerator and wipe it down instead of having to do everything I did today. And I'm like, this was genius. Why didn't I think of this on my own? So these are just some cheap Dollar Tree placemats. Yes, they don't go the whole length of my refrigerator. You know, my refrigerator is kind of, you know, bigger. So, but it's okay. There's just a little teeny tiny gap, and I don't mind that at all. 6 of them did it. I bought an extra one. I bought 7 of them because I'm actually going to take the 7th placemat and I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to use it on the door for the same kind of thing. And I'm gonna put them on the door where the heavier condiments are, like the ones that usually leave a mess on my door, like barbecue sauces, things that people turn upside down kind of things. And I love how it turned out. And the thought of, oh my goodness, something spilled, all I gotta do is pull out a placemat and wash it off, is fantastic. I love this idea. So if you need little tips and tricks, Pinterest is the place to go look.
Keep on telling lies. That is how.
So here comes the fun part, and that is putting back all the food. I almost didn't want to put all the food back because the refrigerator looks so gosh darn pretty. I just wanted to stand at it and just like stand there and stare at it for a little bit, but then I was looking at all the food and I'm like, wow, this took me almost 3 hours to do. I better put this food back before we don't have any food. But speaking of that, you're going to see in a minute here, I'm going to show you an overlook of what the refrigerator looked like before and after. Why is it that when you clean out your refrigerator and you do this kind of stuff, when you put everything back, it's like, wow, what happened to all the food? Like, the refrigerator was overflowing with food before I cleaned it. Now it looks like we're paupers. Does anybody else can relate? Like, you clean out the refrigerator and you're like, wow, we really don't have no food now. But, oh my goodness, does she look pretty.
So you know that I don't mind about what is wrong and what is right. We keep moving in different rhythms. Still I know what you feel. We keep moving.
Alright guys, that is the before, and we are getting ready to see the after. I think this is very satisfying. I am so happy that I tackled this. This is just the first step in my deep spring cleaning. I want to do just as deep kind of cleaning in my stove. I need to do this kind of cleaning in my spice cabinets, in regular cabinets, in closets. I have lots that I need to tackle. So get ready, because the series is going to continue on. So after I cleaned all that nastiness out of my refrigerator in my sink definitely needs to be sterilized. So I'm going to use some Comet with bleach to really scrub it and get it clean. I don't know about you, but I sanitize my sink a lot. Pretty much after every time I use it, and especially after something like that. Yeah, because you're going to wash dishes and stuff in there. So I always really scrub my sink. So usually I use spick and span, but for what I did today in the sink, I really thought some Comet was called for to really scrub that sink. And I like the idea that also that there's bleach in there. So I really scrubbed down my sink, and that also was very satisfying and just like sealed the deal.
Different minds, telling lies, that's how we stay alive. At least we try to survive. We're not the ones who hide. Two different minds. Two different minds. We're not the ones who hide. Two different minds.
You know just what to say to make it all okay. 'Cause I am too blind to see when you're in front of me. We keep moving in different rhythms. Two different minds, telling lies. That's how we stay alive. At least we try.
So now that my sink is clean and it is shiny, I was like, you know what? It's time to get rid of these nasty metal strainers. I said this in a couple videos back. If anybody knew where they could get the other kind of strainers, the silicone ones, and lo and behold, guys, you were right. I found them at the Dollar Tree. It took me 3 Dollar Trees, but I did finally find them, and there they are. I'm going to pop those bad boys in, throw the other ones away, and I'm telling you, there's nothing more satisfying than throwing away something that's nasty. So that's it for me today, guys. That's the first episode in my deep spring cleaning series. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it gives you some cleaning motivation to deep clean the like hot spots, as I call them, in your house, because spring is fast approaching. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Until then, as always, stay creative. Really take care of what God has given you. Stay blessed. Enjoy the warm weather, because I don't know where you're at, but where I'm at, it's starting to get warm, and I can hear birds singing. And let me tell you, that even inspires me more to get deep cleaning for the approaching springtime. Thanks for joining me today, lovies. God bless. Bye.